Welcome to Carolyn Braden's Turning the Ordinary into the Extraordinary. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this fabulous Peacock Fascinator. Let's see, how am I going to talk to you? How about I move it over here just a little bit? Maybe turn it this way because it's quite large. I didn't originally make this project to put onto YouTube. I actually made it for a show audition piece, and although I didn't make it onto the show after a lot of time, patience, and money, because a fascinator of this size doesn't exactly cost a small amount of money. I think I spent about $150 for the total cost of this project. It costs so much because I don't get these types of items at cost. But it's kind of a good lesson if you are making a fascinator or a hat yourself. It's going to probably cost you a little bit more money unless you have some kind of agreement with the store to get items at cost. That's why these types of items cost quite a bit of money to purchase, because the items are expensive themselves and then you have to pay the artist to put it together for you. Although I didn't make it onto the show, I still filmed quite a bit of myself making the project, so I thought it might still be somewhat inspirational to someone out there. Because this project doesn't go into as detail as most of my DIY projects, if you have any questions about the materials that I used to put it together or about just how to put it together in general, just leave me a comment in the comment section and I will answer you as soon as I get a chance. As you can see, it's put together with Swarovski crystals and a form that I created out of a plaster craft type of material, feathers, cinnamon, and some netting, and it is on a fascinator base with a little bit of felt and on just a basic headband. So quite a bit of materials, and it's quite large, very large, but I thought you might like to see how I put it together. So here's how you do it. Hi, I'm Carolyn Braden from Louisville, Kentucky, and today I am going to create a fantastic fascinator inspired by my spirit animal, the peacock. Before I start any project, I'd like to do a sketch. Let's see if you can see this sketch. Here's the sketch of the fascinator that I'm going to create. It's a beautiful Swarovski crystal encrusted peacock head that's gonna go off to the side. I just drew it like that because, well, so I could see it. And it's going to have these beautiful cinnamon loops and these beautiful feathers coming off of it. It's going to come together quite quickly and it's going to be fantastically fabulous. Let's get started. The first thing we have to do is form the peacock head, and I am going to do that out of just taking some newspaper and masking tape and molding it into a small shape and then cover it with this easy form plaster cloth wrap. We have to make sure it's going to fit on the headband. Yep, that looks just about right. Now I'm going to cut some plaster strips, dip them in some warm water, and put them over my masking tape structure here. The cool thing about using these plaster strips is that they can dry in about 20 minutes, and so that is why I'm using this, because I'm going to do this quite fast. So you dip the strip into warm water and just lay it over your form. You smooth out the gauze, because that's all this is gauze embedded with plaster, in order to get a smoother look. I'm going to get this as smooth as possible, but I know it doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to cover this form with feathers. And there is the peacock head. Now we're going to let this sit and dry for about 20 minutes, and while this dries, I'm going to start making the cinnamon loops and start putting together the fascinator. Now I will attach the Fascinator base to the headband using some felt and hot glue. I've created some strips out of cinnamon, and now I am going to create kind of peacock feathers with these strips by simply hot gluing the ends together and letting this dry. Don't want to burn myself. Now we'll glue the next loop on. Starting to look like a peacock feather. Now here comes row number 3. Ooh, fancy. Now we're working on the middle part of the project where I covered the form, the head form, in some feathers, and now I'm adding some Swarovski crystals to it. To add the crystals, I'm using some specific beading or rhinestone tweezers, and I'm dipping the Swarovski crystals into E6000 glue. Some of these small ones are hard to get a hold of, and adding it to the project. Now is the finale of the project. The most fun part is adding on the feathers. As I've gone along, I've started adding on a few feathers just so I could kind of see where to place everything. I have the crystal peacock finished, and I'm adding in just a few more feathers in the front, and now all of the peacock feathers to sprawl their glorious selves out the side. To add the feathers, all I do is pick the ones I like best and then measure out exactly how far I want them to come out of the Fascinator, clip them, put some hot glue on them, and stick them in. So let's see how this is done. I'm all finished. I love how it turned out. This is a fascinator. I meditated a few days before I made this and had a vision of Alan Jones, and it was kind of strange to me because I hadn't thought about him in a while. He was a big-time creative director, ballet dancer, worked with Mikhail Baryshnikov among many other ballet dancers, and he lived here in Louisville and created some of the most awesome headpieces. And when I thought of him, I was like, oh, okay, so he's gonna be with me when I'm creating this because this is a piece that he would definitely go for. So when I made this, I thought of maybe a Louisville ballet dancer could wear it and twirl across the stage. So that could make it kind of costumey, but I also thought it would make a really good piece for the Met Gala because you have to go all out for the Met Gala. So I'll zoom in close now so you can see it in detail. Here is the beautiful crystal peacock and all of the glorious feathers. Ooh, wow, it turned out so good. Fascinators and derby hats and all kinds of hats seem really complicated, but honestly, they're just a whole bunch of hot glue and feathers. You can do some sewing, and I've done that on some of my fascinators before, but hot glue keeps them together too. So I hope you really like this project, and thanks for watching. When making hats and fascinators, you don't want just the front to look good, but you want the back to look good as well. Ooh, it's not going anywhere. I really like it. I still love the project and I think it turned out great, and I hope you like it too. Remember, if you have any questions or comments, just leave it in the comments section below. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe to my videos, do so now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
Visit Carolyn'sBloomingCreations.com